Sounds like you guys are sneaking in and try to work your way into the mines, right?
If the defenders from the Citadel are here, then that means there's another ether stone nearby. Let them lead us right to it.
And then we can end the forces of light once and for all!
So I am going to add the aspect on the board on high alert.
Yeah.
You have made it inside the mines and you are ducking in an unguarded section, catching your breath, but you know that you need to move quickly. So what is your plan now that you've gotten into the facility?
Well, I mean, the idea, right, is that we're going to try to liberate the mine. Like, that's our secondary objective.
So you want to find the slave pens to try and, set people free?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would be the approach for that?
Warble, what can you scout ahead and find for us?
Warble has flown up and joined you. Do you inspire him by giving him a powerful pep talk about that he is a cave bird and this is his home turf and do this?
Is that something Shragwarondu can do?
Why can't Lady Elena do it?
Because magic is the best solution to every problem.
Oh, snap. You know what? No one can actually inspire him. And you get a fate point because you are too focused on how magic can solve the problem. And Warble returns and says, "Oh, this place is a maze! I can't possibly locate where the slaves are."
I'm going to use my cat-like fishness and I'm going to, lean one way or the other in the tunnels and sniff the air and then start moving in one direction. I'm going to be careful. Like, I'm testing. I'm
I agree.
looking for clues, and then I'm going to try to put those things together.
Give me a careful roll. You're going to need to bump it up a little higher than that. Is it going to be your cat person senses, or is it going to be the icy tunnels are clean, they provide me a better scent, something like that?
Yeah, I'm going to invoke the icy tunnels.
The wind carries it through these clean tunnels quite well. It's very easy to pick up a scent here. So you push it up to a 3, which is a success. One over what you needed. You got to drop a fate point.
Got it.
You guys make your way as quickly as you can, avoiding patrols, at every turn, and make it to the slave pens, where the slaves explain, "Oh, there are many of us out there in the mines mining away. Who are you?"
We are the guardians of Umdaar. We have come to rescue you.
"Oh, praise be to you, wherever you came from, brave warrior."
We have spoken with Myrna and with Broth, and are here to free you.
We will set you free. When the timing is right, we will battle Thresher and Tasmia. You rush out and join the battle to swing the tide. So the other thing that says in the rules is that you get you get a lesser version of what you wanted. So what if the cost is, let's say, only half of the slaves are even fit enough to pick up a pick or anything?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, and you're unaware of it in the moment.
So I was going to address something that I haven't addressed yet, which is that I lost the Claw of Kundar.
A non-trivial detail.
Right? So whatever like magical spirit connection I have to it, if I can like guided towards it, use it like as it's calling to me.
Like it's what would a spiritual calling be?
I guess it'd have to. Well, I mean, I would put it in careful. The way that it's written is possess the Claw of Kundar. So maybe it's not even a physical possession. It's an actual like.
Actually, I think the second clause is important too. Possess the
last
Claw of
artifact
Kundar.
of
Last
artifact of Kundar.
You sense the Claw of Kundar within you, but you get a sensation that, and this is you not succeeding, but succeeding at a cost, right? Is that you sense the Claw of Kundar and could be led to it, but the Claw of Kundar almost calls out to you like no, let the winds of change come to you.
This is the way.
In the meantime, you don't know where the Ether Stone is.
The slaves didn't know anything about the stone, right?
You didn't ask, and they don't know that you're there for the Ether Stones. There.
But I want to speak to the slaves and say that we're searching for the Ether Stone. Like, have you ever, in these mines, come across,
A blue,
powerful,
green glow.
Yeah, right. Like a glowing green rock.
You know of it. The invaders, they mine the precious mineral. But one time, many weeks ago, several of us discovered something quite curious. It did not glow green like you speak of, but it was a rock, a gem of some sort, with a powerful glow. We thought it curious magic, and knew that if the invaders mined the precious minerals, that this certainly must be an even more precious and sacred thing, and could not let it fall into their hands. So we buried it. We tried our best to hide it away deep in the mines. And like, you two defenders, we must hurry. We must find the Ether Stone at once. And you all, leave the slaves, having established, what you have, and make your way through the mines. Now, as you twist and turn through the long expanse of the tunnels, following the direction of the prisoners, can you all make me a careful roll? Basically, it's the equivalent of a notice to know whether or not you're being followed. Lady Elena, your difficulty is +2 because you are overwhelmed by the challenges around you.
This is a careful.
And Jaguarundi, you too are distracted because as much as you are paying attention to the hunt, it is difficult to focus on the road ahead and focus on what's around you when your faith in the Claw of Kundar is drawing your attention away. Yeah, so you make your way, not even the thought not occurring to you, like, oh, this seems easy, a little too easy, never even enters your mind. You are just forward driven. And you finally make your way to the location that the miners spoke of. You see some areas of ice that are like snow that's looser packed, and ice that is, a facade. Like, what to look for, so it's a little easier to find, this area. Like, hey, look, these seem almost like they're stacked here on purpose, and so you start clearing away blocks of ice and, snow that's packed around it, and start to dig deeper into a carved out area that stretches several many feet back, enough to conceal the glow of an Ether Stone for sure. And finally, you clear away some ice that starts to give way to a blue light shining through. I mean, of course, the ice always looks a little blue, but it's very clearly like light being emitted through the snow. And you scrape away faster and faster and find one of the ether stones. But as soon as you do...
let's just relish in that triumph for just a moment.
Yeah, by all means.
Good job, Jaguarundi. You
Yeah.
found the ether stone.
Well, I'm picturing it's the scene where it's all three of their faces kind of in close, and you can see the reflection of the stone.
But as soon as you pull the stone from its icy packings, you suddenly hear a loud thud from behind you. And as you turn around, you see the visage of Thresher having landed in the snow right behind you. And he laughs.
So you've led us right to it then. We get to find the ether stone, and I get defenders as dessert.
His landing attempts to intimidate you, so he is going to try and create an advantage. Thresher is a massive predator. Once per scene, Thresher gets a +2 to create an advantage that intimidates a foe. So he's going to try and intimidate Jaguarundi.
Ouch.
And that's a 9 because he gets a +2.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to bring it down to a reasonable number? Or shall we just kind of accept the intimidation and move forward?
All right. I would assume that as a Kundari warrior, I would deal with it forcefully.
So I kind of feel like, speaking of compel, that Jaguarundi and his lack of his totem item, his ancient clan artifact, is what would compel him to not strive for more here, and almost kind of allows this success to happen.
It sounds like you're compelling Jaguarundi to not try and boost this thing. Why don't you go first, and then you get to pass the initiative to who you want. Jaguarundi.
Sure.
I am going to throw the ether stone to Warble in the air.
Nice. I like your priorities.
He's close enough that you can quickly hand it to him and have him take to the air and still have a regular action. You can do that as an aside.
Okay.
Thanks for not using the phrase.
Take this and defend it with your life, or whatever you would say.
Protect the stone. Fly away, little bird. Just gonna try to grapple Thresher.
He will meet you full force. Ooh, it's a tie. You do not harm the target, but you gain a boost. So what is the boost that you gain?
Yeah. Let's call it locked up.
Who's going next in the initiative order? Remember,
Throw it to Warble.
Throw it to Warble? All right. So he takes to the air and tries to fly away, but it's not going to be that easy. Thresher is he is locked hand to hand with you, and he says,
You think you've got me, but what you don't know, I've got you exactly where I want you.
And he is going to try and use his strength to turn the tides of this whole locked up thing. I'm going to say he's going to try and overcome the locked up advantage. He's going to forcefully do that because that's his fucking jam. He's going to use Intimidated Heroes to re-roll that.
And then I counter it.
Yes. Are you staying there?
Sure.
Okay, so he overcomes your boost. So your boost cannot be activated. It is no longer a thing. But he succeeds with style and generates his own boost. Grappled. He has clearly overcome you in this And he is going to pass initiative to someone who is going to
appear on the board.
Yep. But not before a voice from further down the cavern says, little bird, let us cage you, lest you fly away with our precious treasures. You basically see a black, misty, portcullis shape just appear out of nowhere in front of where Warble is trying to fly to. A forceful 2 against Warble, who I assume is defending with quick. Ooh. But because Warble is an intimidated hero, we are gonna move that to we're gonna equal that out with a 4. So that is going to tie. Because Phantasmia basically having to focus more than she'd anticipated on trying to keep Warble at bay, she revealed herself so that everyone can see her location. She does succeed, and Warble's escape is overcome. And she's going to pass it to Lady Elena.
Phantasmia, you know that shadows always run from the light. Lady Elena directly attacks Phantasmia.
That is forceful.
No fluff, no assist, direct attack. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of forceful in it. She's just gonna pound her down.
She's just trying to evade, which is not her best thing.
Okay.
And she can't use her stunt against light-based magic, so...
Nice.
Ooh, okay, but because you were overwhelmed by the challenges surrounding you, your difficulty becomes 2 higher. So it's a 4 to a 6. I have to give you one of my fate points.
However, I kind of feel this is the time for Lady Elena to reveal a new aspect of herself, which is her commitment for the triumph of light over dark. Direct contrast of light over shadow.
So go ahead and add that aspect, but you're going to have to spend a fate point to invoke it.
Totally great.
So you move it back up to a tie. The attack does not harm the target, but you gain a boost. How about beams of light gleaming around the scene, off of the ice? It's all around for a moment.
I think it goes back to Phantasmia. I'm sorry.
Phantasmia looks at Warble carrying the stone and says,
"You do not want to flee, little bird. This is a good place. You can stay here and have all the treats and seeds and mirrors to peck on that you could possibly want."
And you see Warble potentially, his mind shifting, his eyes going wide. This is a magical, illusory, kind of psychic-ish, is not his...
Clever kind of seems to be the only thing that applies at all.
Like he's using his own intellect to try to
That's not right. Those aren't my friends.
Sure.
This isn't my plan.
So why don't we roll clever? Why don't you roll clever for Warble?
So can I spend fate point to invoke an aspect of Warble? His loyal cave bird friend and companion aspect. Moment of conscious where he's listening to Phantasmia. Mm-hmm. Then he remembers that his loyalty is stronger than her tricky magic.
That does sound nice, but no! I must protect the Ether Stone for the forces of light.
And he's not having any of it.
Curses! That little bird brain is stronger than I thought, but it's no matter. Thresher will make mincemeat out of these fools, and we'll have the stone anyway.
she's going to pass it to Thresher, who is going to push further into Jaguarundi, who is grappled, and so he gets to use his stunt of Jaws. Thresher gets a +2 to forceful attacks against a foe who is bound or restrained.
Ouch.
Let's see what he rolls. Ooh. He's going to use the grappled boost to reroll.
Oh my god.
Whoa! You're resisting with forceful or
Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. You know what I'm gonna use? I'm gonna use Icy Tunnels. I'm gonna spend a fate point to use how slippery the floor is.
Going with the ice so that it counterbalances his force. So are you re-rolling or are you adding +2?
I'm just gonna add +2.
All right. So he still succeeds. So you're looking
So
at
right
an
now
8.
it's 8 to 5.
8
Is
to
that
5.
correct?
Yeah. So he's still going to succeed with style.
Can I use I've lost the Claw of Kundar? Pushed all the way to the corner. He's lost his sword. He was grappled and then bit. And so it just pushes him into it gives him that extra bit of just angry energy to help push Thresher away just enough to get out of the reach of his clamping jaw.
So that would be an 8 versus a 7. I'll give you one, but your shoulder gives way.
Ah, okay.
So he still succeeds. He still succeeds with style.
Okay.
You could cross off the 3 and not take a consequence.
That's what I'll do.
Okay, and he's got the taste of cat blood now. He's gonna pass it to Warble.
Warble is still flying with the stone.
And the dark, shadowy portcullis appeared, preventing his escape from the room.
Does even better. His stunt of small, bright, and loud is he gets a +2 to flashlight create an advantage once per scene.
Thresher or Phantasmia?
I would say Phantasmia.
All right.
She's the one that stopped his exit.
So he dives in and try to get into my mind, will ya? What would that be to resist? Probably.
I would say you try to be careful in the face of confusion and overwhelming things.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
I'll give him that one.
And can the aspect be bedazzled?
Yeah, I mean it has to be now.
So we have all this radiant light from my last attack with where the aspect is rays of light. I'm going to double down on those and scatter a bunch of rays of light to bounce off all the facets of the ice to condense in her location.
So are you
attacking her from 100 different?
Are you
creating additional light?
Are you creating an advantage or are you attacking?
I'm attacking.
I guess it would be careful. I really want it to be sneaky, but I think it's careful for her to just try and avoid. She's just trying to avoid, the harmful light and fight it back with the forces of shadow. So that's one shift against Phantasmia.
There's 2 other aspects on the board that you can just use.
And she's bird-dazzled. Oh my god!
She is bird-dazzled. So that becomes a 5 against a 2.
We'll stop there.
So the attack hits and causes damage. Alright. She's going to cross off her box. She's going to take it as stress. She's...
Like a proper Kundari warrior. I'm going to do what they always tell you to do to sharks. I'm going to punch him in the nose.
Nice.
Forceful?
It's forceful.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's not very forceful.
It's even. So in this case, you don't harm the target, but you gain a boost.
It wasn't enough to cause damage, but it was just enough to really like, just really put a little like, just a little sting on there.
How about nearly booped?
You're nearly booped.
Phantasmia is going to create an advantage while drawing attention with Warble. Focus, look at the fact that Lady Elena is full on focused ahead at her, shining her light in the direction of Phantasmia and totally not noticing the shadows behind her. So she is going to make a sneaky magical attack to try and have tendrils of shadow come up and bind Lady Elena.
Well, I kind of feel like she's got like full lighthouse power going on right now, and she's like max wattage.
Tries to put up a barrier of light.
Yes, and burn it down.
All right, so forceful.
Because in the icy tunnels, like they are so reflective, and like the light bounces and magnifies on itself. And the lights come back, like, sure, they don't hit it dead on straight the first time, but in the third or fourth or 16th refractions, they do enough to tear apart those dark tendrils of magic.
So I still get to create a boost of shadow tendrils, but not a full-on aspect. So it's kind of like, it's like a problem you're still dealing with, even though you have kept yourself from being like fully restrained or attacked by them. And Phantasmia is going to pass it to the Echosaurs. The Echosaurs are going to open fire. They're going to use the boost of Shadow Tendrils. So do you take the 3 stress?
Yep. And so she's going to turn all of her attention on the Thresher and hit him as hard as she possibly can.
So he succeeds with style in defending.
Okay, yeah. Warble's gonna try to overcome.
She's gonna try and block the path, whatever.
Definitely maneuver his way around the obstacle in front of him.
Okay.
God damn you, Warble!
Warble. He actually flies through the bars and biffs his head. Falls to the ground. The Aether Stone rolls along the ground right into Phantasmia's grasp. Thresher's gonna double down on Jaguarundi. He's really...
I think whether we concede or not, we're going to lose this scenario. So we can choose our loss, or have it decided for us.
Well, you can't... Either way, you have to take this attack. Because you can't concede like after you roll dice. So you would have to cross off your 2 stress box and then take a minor consequence.
So is my mild consequence is going to be Shark Bite?
Yes.
Ooh-ha-ha.
Thresher passes it to the Echosaurs. They're going to use the created advantage action on an existing action, which is Intimidated Heroes. She's going to attack Jaguarundi. That's gonna take you out, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you see the walls around you rapidly start to melt and pool up in the floor around you. And then it becomes quicker and quicker until the melting water of the walls just rushes in all directions. And all anyone else screams is all everyone else sees is Jaguarundi going, "No! Water everywhere! We're all going to drown!" Ah! And he like collapses, clutching his own head, trying to kick against invisible water until he immediately exhausts himself and falls into an unconscious state.
Well, I think we're going to need to retreat, concede. Question is how.
If things look grim for you, you can give in or concede the fight, but you have to say that's what you're doing before your opponent rolls their dice. This is different than being taken out because you get a say in what happens to you. Your opponent gets some major concession from you. Talk about what makes sense in your situation, but it beats getting taken out and having no say at all. Additionally, you get 1 fate point for conceding and 1 fate point for each consequence you took in this conflict. This is your chance to say, you win this round, but I'll get you next time, and get a tall stack of fate points to back it up. So, Bill, I will give you, Lady Elena, you took 1 consequence, and you concede. So that means you're going to start next game with 4 fate points. I just gave you 2, and you had 2. So what is the concession?
The Ether Stone?
It is the they are unaware that you have the Rough Rover parked anywhere, or like situated anywhere nearby, because you were well hidden. So they think that leaving you to the wastes of the northern lands, that you will surely perish, you and your foolish bird, right? But the concession, since they already have the Ether Stone in their grasp, is that the cat will be our prisoner. Glowbuzz will be eager to see his sworn enemy.
Can we come up with another concession?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's...
Narratively, we have not been able, as 2 people, have not been able to overcome, any conflict that you've presented to us easily.
That's
cutting our forces in half drops us to 0. There is no way either one of us could have stood to either one of the challenges that we barely overcame, let alone failing in this one.
This is the first, actually, this is the first time that you've had any serious negative consequences. You've pretty much run through everything without having any terrible thing happen. This is the first loss.
Yeah, and it's not it's just a narrative device that we're split up and one of us is captured. It's just a
yes, it makes the story more interesting. It's not. Yeah.
All right.
The stakes are still exactly what they were at the beginning of this game. Even though I'm captured, it doesn't change the severity of it yet.
Serpentis receives the message from his lieutenants, who inform him of the capture of the cat Jaguarundi and the retrieval of an Aether Stone. Serpentis smiles and says,
Yes, so today is a good day indeed. For those fools may have 1 Aether Stone, but they led us to another, and little do they know.
As he turns to a pillar deep within Mount Ruin, a red glow around a rock floating upon a pedestal glows. And he says,
I already had one of the Aether Stones to begin with, and with the scale tipped in our favor, I shall finally wage a full assault on the Citadel and ensure my victory.
Right. I think.
Like-
Are you trying to use invoking cave owl for like a to get an advantage, or you just wanted to say
yes.
cave
Are
owl?
you just saying cave
Yes.
owl?